That kind of works.
Hi.
Okay, so we're gonna do pink snow leopard to match your onesie. Yeah, you can put your hood up so that we can complete the face to match the onesie. Okay. Right. What you'll need is a basic set of paints, specifically with a pink, a white, and a black. For the white though, I like to use this clown paint because we're going to need a lot more of the white, and I like to use this white for mixing and this one to keep clean for sponging and for clear white details. You'll also need two brushes, a slightly thicker one and a detailing brush for the black. This one can be any size, but I like to use a slightly thicker one. You'll also need a hairband because often the child's hair gets in the way if they have any flyaways or strands that can't be caught in a bobble. You need a clean sponge. This one has been cleaned but stained a little with green from my last face paint. You need a bowl of water. I find it much easier to work with a bowl for getting the sponge in as well as the paintbrushes. Finally, you need kitchen roll. This is handy for cleaning out dirtied up paints or wiping away spillages or even mistakes on the child's face. Finally, advice to you would be to change your water often if it gets dirty, as the dark colours can often mix with the white, and for this look you want a really white face. So start by sponging the face white. You can layer the white up to get it even more white, but for the moment one layer will do because we can work on that later. The next stage is to paint pink on the eyes. An important thing to mention here is that you don't want to get the pink too wet because it will run, and the eyes are often a place where it can cause irritation if the paint runs into the eyes, but also it's a hard part to fix because it causes a lot of smudging, especially when you've done such a clear white base. So you want to start by drawing from the corner to a point here to come back down to here. And you want to follow the curve of the eyelid and up to a point and straight down. Then all you want to do now is fill that in. Do the same with the other eye, marking the points where you intend to go. Sometimes it's hard to get the eye symmetrical, but just try your best and go with how it feels. Okay. The next part can be quite tricky or it can be quite easy. It's entirely up to you how you choose to do this next bit. I like to get my fingertips slightly damp with the bowl of water and just dip my finger into the pink paint. Then, gently spotting the head with all different sizes of pink spots. These don't need to be neat at all, and there doesn't have to be too many of them either. If you feel like a particular place is getting too crowded, then you can simply switch to smaller dots. The key to getting these dots just right is blending them with now a dry finger into the face so that they're quite smudged. Now for a slightly more difficult part. Again, this next part's up to you about which brush you'd like to use. For some of this, I'm going to try and use the thicker brush because I like thicker strokes, but for smaller spots, I'm going to use the detailing brush. This is the point where we're going to start to use our black, and remember that your water might get quite dirty here. So, looking at a leopard spots, the black doesn't go all the way round. Then very gently to outline halfway, then press down on your brush to create a thicker bit and pull back up again to create a thinner bit. This doesn't look much at the moment, but if you keep going, all the spots begin to look like a leopard. Another technique you can use is doing 3 separate lines on the one spot. Okay, so when we have your black detail brush loaded with the black paint, you might want to try and outline the eyes that you did earlier. So all we're going to do is put a basic outline up and round here. Not difficult at all. Take your time with this line. You're not in any rush, so take your time and try to get it as neat as possible. The important thing with black outlines are, they really are only outlines. But for this look, it's important that the black is thin and pointy. So when we get to the top of the eye, we want to really emphasise this point. You might also want to take a really thin line along the bottom of the eyelids where eyeliner would be. Close your eyes. Make sure that when you're doing this, the child has agreed to allowing you to do this, as often they can be sensitive about their eyes. And sometimes they don't actually want the paint close to their eyes and are happy enough for you to just paint around them. Want to follow the nose down at either side, very, very lightly to start with. You want to stay to the outside of the nose rather than the inside. You can use the other end of your sponge to blend out the way. Next, take the white and go over it. Next, go back in with your thicker brush and create the end of the nose. Make sure this line doesn't get too thick. To complete this part, take a line from the centre along the top of the lips and flick round. Do the same on the other side. Coming close to the end of this look, we can start adding in small details. To do some dots just up here to add the little imperfections. And draw attention to the top of the nose. What I also like to do with these dots is let them dry for the most part, and when they get to almost completely dry, smudge them like you did earlier with the pink dots. And go back in and just bring back emphasis on some of the dots. Also put dots here and here. Finally, for the last part of this look, take your white on your brush this time. Create two little teeth. Outline them in black as well. Finally, fill in the spaces on the lips with pink. And this look is done.